Today I am looking at extensions and add-ins for Office 365. And these are the helper tools that make browsers and productivity tools even more useful than they already were. The first extension that I'm going to look at is called SpeakIt, which is the free text-to-speech extension for Chrome that you can get at the Chrome Web Store. And you can see right over here that I've already added it because I have the option to remove it. Once you have added it, you'll see this sound icon up in the upper right-hand part of your screen near the web address bar. When you decide to go ahead and use it, you'll see that it's really very easy to use. You'll just choose the text that you want translated, and you'll highlight it. Then you'll go ahead and click that sound icon. And then I hit stop, and you'll see that it quickly translates that chosen text into something that's very easy to understand, even if the tone and inflection does sound like a simulated voice, because it is. I still think that it could be a really useful tool for a struggling reader, especially when they're trying to access content materials that they simply have to understand whether or not those kids are strong readers. Since I looked at extensions for struggling readers, I thought that it would be a good idea to also look at an extension for struggling writers. And so I am taking a look right now at the Voice-In extension, which is another one that I have already added to my Chrome browser. And once you add that one, you'll see this microphone icon up in the upper right-hand part of your screen. When you're ready to go ahead and use Voice-It, you'll simply get your cursor in the text box where you want some text to appear, and you'll go ahead and click on this microphone icon. Once you click that icon, you need to be ready to speak because it'll start picking up right away, just like this. I am exploring extensions for Chrome that I can use in my classroom. If you were going to use Chrome in your classroom or any type of search there, this would make these activities far more accessible to kids who struggled getting ideas into written form. The first Office 365 add-in that I'm going to highlight is one called PeopleGraph. This one's really neat because it will create a visual representation of the data that you've put in a spreadsheet. I think this is really cool for a number of reasons. First of all, this visual representation would be really helpful to kids who get distracted by just the way that information in a spreadsheet sometimes appears. Depending on what kind of processing issues a kid have, just having this picture to be able to make these numbers more meaningful would be helpful. I could see where this could also be really helpful when you're trying to show students how a pictograph works, and you could have a discussion about how many people each one of these little symbols would stand for. Even though this is called pictograph, it could still be used with other kinds of data besides people. When you go and look at the shapes that are available to you, you could do all kinds of things that would just stand for whatever kind of numerical data you were showing. And this could have a whole lot of different ways to, like we said, just make information available in one other way to students who might need it that way. To add Pickit to your Excel Online, you would just do the Office add-ins. You would go ahead and look for the one here, and then you go ahead and get that through the Office Store. Like I said, this is a free one. The next add-in that I'm going to take a look at is one for PowerPoint, and it's called Picket. And that's also something you can get at the Office store. Again, you just go up to Insert, Office Add-ins, and you can search for what you like, but this one shows up right at front. I add it, and all of a sudden that icon just appears up there in my toolbar. Picket is an add-in that lets you add images, icons, illustrations to PowerPoint presentations. And it may be a little bit less limiting than using the Insert Online Pictures option that you already have in PowerPoint. Picket guarantees that you can legally use all of the images that are available through it. Right now, I have it on a free trial basis that's good for 7 days. I'm not sure what the pricing is when that expires. As far as I can see, the most obvious benefit of having Picket is that it just increases the options for images beyond what you get in using online pictures from Bing. However, when I go ahead and type in my topic, looking for an image for my title page, Westward Expansion, when I do that, let's see, hold on, we'll see where we're not going. Well, what I see is they didn't find any photos for that topic. And if I try to add pictures through what I can do, online pictures, just through PowerPoint, I get lots and lots of options for pictures that way. Westward Expansion. And these are ones that are marked Creative Commons, and so I get a lot more choices that way. That's not to say, though, that I don't see any benefit to Picket, because in addition to just searching that way, I can explore, and they've got, beyond just pictures, they've got collections, and you can go in categories, which is really helpful for some things. One of them is backgrounds, and this really does open up some of your design choices. And instead of just using the template here, you could go ahead and insert text boxes. And they've got, close to 3,000 backgrounds here that are all sorts of things. The other really neat feature here that I thought was that you also can do icons. And sometimes they've got a really good place in a presentation. And with those, you've got more than 12,000. And sometimes those things are going to be, I think, more helpful than you would get with just a picture. Anyway, to recap, we took a look at 2 extensions and 2 Office 365 add-ins. Extensions to support struggling readers and struggling writers, and add-ins that could sort of enhance the product that you make through the productivity tools and maybe make them accessible to more learners. Or in the case of Picket, maybe just go ahead and find a way to just support anything you're doing in terms of digital literacy, because they do guarantee that these are all legal to use. Anyway, I hope these were helpful to you, and I look forward to learning more about them.